Hello, uh, children. Today I will start the revision work. What has been taught so far for the revision? I will start the very first chapter, that is cell, the fundamental unit of life, and with that chapter I would like to take some part of the diversity or of the classification. I already given you some worksheets, some question for the writing the answer. And before starting the classification of animal kingdom, after the 5 kingdom division system, it was the turn of the classification of animal kingdom. But now I would like to take a recapitulation. I would like to take you towards the revision work, and for that the very important part, the revision cell and the biodiversity. When you start any topic, any chapter, for that you have completed for the revision work. When you go for the revision work, for that you have to see from very first word that what is cell. The cell is the fundamental unit of life. Cell is the structural unit of life. As you know, in the entire building there are many bricks are involved to make a wonderful building, a very good building. In the same way, in our human body, in plant body, in animal body, the cells are the building blocks. Many cell joins, they makes a structure, makes a wonderful structure, and every cell is responsible for making a structure as well as doing function. Right? So, when you start the revision work, for that the cell is fundamental unit of life, cell is a structural and functional unit of life. And when I explain in this chapter, you already completed, I am sure that you have completed the cell theory. Who has given this? Sleeden and Swan. There are 2 scientists who was involved in the cell theory, and they postulates 2 postulates. There was 2 laws for the cell, that every cell, number 1, every cell arises from pre-existing cell. It means the cells are originated. The birth of cell is always from the old one. Number 2, every cell is structural and functional unit of life. Every cell is responsible for making a structure and doing function. These are the 2 postulates, 2 feelings for the cell theory, and it was given by the Sleeden and Swan. Children, you have to make your study simple and easy. As you are grown up now, for 9th class it is the base for the NEET exam. It is the basic fundamental class for the higher studies. So you have to take sufficient time, and without confirming any term, any word, you need not to you need not to proceed for the next chapter. And for that I have taken the revision class today. Right? Cell theory, every cell is responsible for doing work and making a structure of the body. And number 2, every cell, today's cell arises from pre-existing cell. Right? Moving to the next term, the prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Now, the first term is The pro, look at the pro. The meaning of pro, it's Latin word, and the meaning of the pro is primitive. It arises from the pro. Pro is Latin term, and the meaning of pro is primitive, undeveloped. So these prokaryotic, where the karyon is undeveloped. You have completed the difference table, but again I am going to tell you that how to revise the contents. 3 times in one sitting, 3 times revision in one sitting, and there must be involvement of 3H, head, hand and heart, and it will be confirmed, I am sure, and you can check it, that when you are learning through the heart, and if you are revising through the through the writing work, hand is involved, writing work is involved, it would be confirmed. And when you are going to learn on the basis of term, there are 2 words. Number 1, pro. Primitive, and karyon. Nucleus. It means here in these organisms, these are undeveloped, primitive, small, right? Bacteria, blue-green algae, cyanobacteria. These are very primitive, very undeveloped, very small. Got my point? When you will see the structure of bacteria, you will see that bacteria inner part, there is no developed nucleus. This is nucleoid. This is called if the nucleus is well developed, covered by the nuclear membrane, that is called well developed nucleus. But here you will see that nucleus is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane. Okay? The flagella is there. That's why I am telling the animals are undeveloped, small in shape size, and the nucleus is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane. You already mentioned in your fair notebook, I am sure. But on the other hand, the eukaryotic, what is the meaning of EU? True. This true is for the nucleus. Karyon means you wait, you take sufficient time for your revision work. 99% weightage should be given to the revision work and 1% to the IQ, intelligent quotient. Okay? So when you start, you are a student of class 9 and you have to make your basic, your fundamental, your foundation very, very strong. That is why I am coming for the revision work here. Don't speed up yourself. Don't go for the another chapter, but you have to make your knowledge perfect. Basics should be very much clear. So eukaryotic means the nucleus is nucleus is very well developed and the animals are big in shape size. They are having many cell organelles in their structure. Right? So when you start, there are 2-3 main differences between prokaryotic and eukaryotic cell. Now you can complete this difference table with the help of thinking, with the help of logic. You can easily understand that the nucleus of the prokaryotics, they are undeveloped, they are small in shape size, there is no developed nuclear membrane as I am explaining here. And this undeveloped nucleus, which is not surrounded by the nuclear membrane, is called as nucleoid, Nucleoid. Alright? So after these differences, I am going to take some part of the cell organelles, cell structure and their functions. When I started in the first module, I explained about the, look at this, that when you start the animal cell, the very first, the center part of the cell, which is surrounded by a cell membrane, or cell lemma, or another name of this is plasma membrane, and this is nucleus. And the inside nucleus, there are many thread-like structure. You can write, these are the chromosomes. You already noticed. And look at the board shape size, one cell organelles, which is very important. And this is known as the powerhouse of the cell, and this is called mitochondria, right? And this mitochondria is generating the energy in the form of adenosine triphosphate. Now see, when we start the diagram, you have to see their shape and size. A network-like structure which is very much attached to the nuclear membrane, and this network-like structure is floating in the all area, and it is present outside the nucleus and inside the cell membrane in the cytoplasm. You can write this fluid. The fluid which is present inside the nucleus, that is nucleoplasm, right? And one is small structure which is present inside the nucleus. This is called nucleolus. Nucleolus, nucleolus. So when you start the diagram, you have to see the individual cell organelles, right? And there is one structure which is absent in the plant cell, and this structure is known as centrosome, or two structure is called centriole. Individuals are called centrioles, and collectively we will call it centrosome. So this centriole or centrosomes are present only in the animal cell, and these are not present in the plant cell. Oh, you will surprised to see that, sir, if it is not present in the plant cell, who will be helping in the cell division? Because the function of the centriole is cell division. Yes, in the plant cell, the cell division work would be done by the cytoplasm. They will make the spindle fiber and they will help in the cell division. That is for the higher class. So, another structure which is having the centrons, and this structure is Golgi Body or Golgi Complex. There are two names of this Golgi Body or Golgi Complex, which was discovered by the Camellia Golgi, and on the honor of scientist Golgi, the name of this apparatus, this organelle is Golgi or Golgi Body, which is helping in the packaging and secretion. So when you start for the revision, you go for the revision, you have to draw again and again the diagram, and then you go for the cellular structure and then function of the cell organelles like the mitochondria, which help in the formation of energy in the form of ATP. The energy is generated, that is why it is known as powerhouse. Okay. When you go for the endoplasmic reticulum, look at in the short form I am writing endoplasmic. E stand for endo, R stand for reticulum. So this endoplasmic reticulum is responsible for synthesis for the production of protein and for the production of fat. How you can divide these endoplasmic reticulum? There are two types, SER, smooth endoplasmic reticulum, and rough endoplasmic reticulum. Smooth endoplasmic reticulum produces the fat, and rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the production of protein. Right now I am going to tell you that the protein production is done by three cell organelles. Number 1, number 2, ribosome, the function of RER, the function of ribosome, and number 3, nucleolus. They all three cell organelles are producing the protein. How to learn that thing is very, very important, that I am just going to tell you. You can easily revise, easily confirm your answer, that the production of protein, the synthesis of protein is done by three cell organelles. Number 1, rough endoplasmic reticulum, number 2, ribosome, number 3, nucleolus. Now it is going to be very, very easy for you when you start the cytology, when you start the study of cell. You have to see in this way. Rough endoplasmic reticulum helps in the synthesis of protein. Now look at this ribosome. Ribosome also known as protein factory. It helps in the synthesis of protein. Where does ribosome located? In the cytoplasm. It is attached with the endoplasmic reticulum. Ribosome is very small structure, round shape, spherical structure, round shape structure, and it is attached in the endoplasmic reticulum and also floating in the cytoplasm, right? So when you start the revision of your chapter, in this way you have to go. Another part of this cell was there, that what is the process of osmosis, what is the process of diffusion. Osmosis is the process of movement of water molecules from dilute to concentrated solution through the plasma membrane. It means the plasma membrane is present in between. Like the diffusion could be occurred in the solid form, in the gaseous, in the liquid form, but osmosis occur only in the liquid and through the semi-permeable membrane. Otherwise the definition is same. The movements of molecules from higher concentration to lower concentration in the presence of plasma membrane, then it would be called as osmosis. And if we are going to explain the diffusion, there may be membrane or there may not be membrane. So in the diffusion, like very simple example, that when you are burning a agarbatti at the corner, the smoke will spread from that part to another part. Why? Because the molecules of smoke would be higher at the burning side, and from that side it already automatically moved from 100% region to the 60 towards the 60% region. if you are putting a dry resin in the water, dry resin, what will happen? After half an hour, you will see that the resins are absorbing the water, their shape size will increase, their weight will increase, water is moving from higher resin to dry part of the grains, dry part of the resins, because there is less water. There are many examples of the endosmosis, exosmosis, diffusion process. When you are putting a potassium permanganate in the water, when you are putting a chalk piece in the water, it dissolves. The Tyndall reaction, the movement of molecules from higher region towards the lower region. Okay, when you put solute in the water, making of sharbat is also a very good example of this diffusion. So when you start the diffusion process, osmosis and diffusion, differences between osmosis and diffusion, the experimental base is very much required for understanding. That already you can easily understand. So it was the cell structure. You can complete the differences between plant cell and animal cell. As I explained, the plant cell can prepare their food with the help of photosynthesis process, because the plant cells are full of chloroplast. They are having chlorophyll, and in the presence of chlorophyll, the sunlight is absorbed, the glucose is produced. That is why all green plants are performing the photosynthesis, and they are called autotrophs. On the other hand, all animals cannot prepare their food, and that is why they are dependent on the other for the food, and that is why they are called heterotrophs. Some are parasitic, endoparasite, ectoparasite. So when you start the differences between plant and animal cell, plants' growth are unlimited, but animals' growth are limited. Plant cell, they don't have centriole, but animal cell have centriole. Moving to the last boundary, that in the plant, I can draw here. Space is less, so you can easily write that the plant cell is having cell wall. Inside this cell wall, there is plasma membrane. Okay, there is nucleus like this. Okay, so in the plant cell, one structure is more than this animal, and that is chloroplast. Rest are present in both. 9 cell organelles are common, but this chloroplast, you can write here. This chloroplast, which is responsible for photosynthesis, it is absent in the animal cell. The chloroplast, the leucoplast, chromoplast, and chlorophylls are present in the chloroplast. There are 3 types of plastids are there. Plastids are chloroplast, chromoplast, and leucoplast. So this cell structure, this organelle is absent in the animal, and it is present in the plant cell. So the plant cell is rich in case of cell wall, it is rich in chloroplast, and because of the presence of the chloroplast, it is called autotrophs, because they can prepare their food. Right? So when we start other structure, you are looking that in both structure, the other structure in the plant cell and in the animal cell, the Golgi body, endoplasmic reticulum, ribosomes are present, but there is no centriole, no centrosome. Right? The outer structure is very well covered by the cell wall. Cell wall is made up of structure, like the plasma membrane is made up of protein and lipid, but the cell wall is made up of cellulose. Okay, so it is for the next module, but as far as the differences between plant cell and animal cell is concerned, you have to write in this way. The food vacuoles are big in big in plant cell, but the food vacuoles are small in animal cell. Okay, so it was all about the cell structure and function. Now, for the last 5 minutes, I would like to take you towards the revision part of the biodiversity. Okay. Now, in the biodiversity, there are two words. Bios means life, whether it is plant life and animal life, and the diversity means variations, different variety of the plant and animal. You can study in the biodiversity, we study different variety of the plant and animal. The entire biodiversity can be classified into two categories, plant kingdom and animal kingdom. Okay? In the higher class, in the class 11th, you can take biology. In that biology, you have to study about the plant life and about the animal life. So biodiversity means variety, the variation of the plant and animal kingdom present on the earth. And in this topic, from where you have to start, the first term is classification. Classification, or another name of this is taxonomy. What is the importance, why we study, why we go for a classification? To make our study simple and easy, we classify our plants and animal. We classify different plants into different subgroups, into different division, different groups, and in animal also we classify in the non-chordata, in the chordata group. Like when you start the naming, you have to go for the binomial nomenclature. Binomial. Every scientific name is made up of two words, binomial. Binomial nomenclature means, who has given this? The binomial nomenclature, Carolus Linnaeus, and in this every scientific name is made up of two words, like Homo sapiens. Homo is the genus name, first name is genus and second name is species. Okay, so always the first name start with the capital letter. There are many, Rana tigrina, Citrus deodar, Homo sapiens, Triticum acetium. There are many scientific name of plant and animal, right? So in the binomial nomenclature, every scientific name is made up of two words. First name is genus, second name is species. And more of this is hierarchy of this. Hierarchy. When you start the classification, as I am telling you, classifying into different group is called classification process. So very first you write the kingdom, then phylum or division, class, order, family, genus and species. Okay? So you have to see, when you start the hierarchy, always write, like when you write your address, you write your name and then the house number, then town, then district, then state, and then the country. At the end you write the, when, if you want to make your address correct, you have to go, if you want to classify different plant and animals, you have to start that which kingdom it belongs, which kingdom, then what is the phylum of this animal, what is the scientific name, what is the class. So smallest unit is genus, species, the family. After family you will write phylum, class, order, family, genus and species. The smallest unit is species and the biggest unit is kingdom. Okay. In the hierarchy you have to write the biggest class first and the smallest at the end. So in the biodiversity, all the plants and animals are classified on the basis of their shape, size, on the basis of their mode of nutrition, on the basis of their presence, where they are present. on the basis of their habitat. If they are present in the water, they are called aquatic. If they are present in the dry area, they are called terrestrial animal. Okay, some are hermaphrodite, which are having both the sexes in their, male as well as female. So they are called hermaphrodite. There are some term also to understand. In the biodiversity, you have to see that marine animals which are present in the sea water, they are called marine. Diploblastic, if the germ layers are 2 in the body, they are called diploblastic, di for 2. Triplo, if there are 3 germ layers, they would be kept in the triploblastic in the animal kingdom. So when you start the 5 kingdom division system, I am sure that many of you have studied the 5 kingdom division system, the tree-like structure in this. What are the 5 kingdom? Monera, Protista, Plantae, Fungi, Animalia. The last one is why the fungi and plant is kept in different category, not at one place. Why it is kept in 2 different places? Because the plant are having the chlorophylls. There are 2 types, but the fungi are the plant which are without chlorophyll. So they are kept in the separate category. Fungi are non-green chlorophyllous plant. Got my point? They are non-green chlorophyllous plant. So in the biodiversity, you will see their characteristics, their features. You will see the examples of these groups, these category. Moving to after the 5 kingdom, we will see the classification of animal. Animal kingdom. When I will after this lecture, in the next lecture, I will start the classification of animal kingdom. For 2-3 minutes, I would like to tell you that animal kingdom is classifying into 2 big groups: the non-chordate and chordata. Eta means group, chord means rod-like structure. The animals which are having chordate character means they are having the backbone, they are having the gill slits, nervous system, they are advanced, so they are called as the chordata. And when the undeveloped, without bony animals, they are kept in the non-chordate character. And there are 9 phylums. There are 9 phylums like Porifera, Coelenterata, Platyhelminthes, Nemathyhelminthes, Annelida, Arthropoda, Mollusca, Hemichordata, Echinodermata, Hemichordata. Right? And then in this Pisces, Amphibia, okay, Pisces, fish, then Amphibia, frog. How nicely you can easily understand that chordates are well developed, advanced characters, animals. Then the Amphibia, after this Reptilia, then Aves, 5 would be there, no 6. Then the bird family aves, and the last one is the biggest one, the most advanced mammalia. Okay, so in this revision topic we have completed that how to revise the contents. Okay, and now you can write the question answer of your textbook. What is given, you can note it down. Thank you for listening me, and hopefully you are going to complete your work. Thanks. Bye.